She's your podcast host.
Oh.
To be.
Oh, no.
Not expecting that then.
We don't do it at the beginning of every episode.
I wasn't expecting it, but I should have been expecting it because he's been singing it all day. So
This is Rom Met Com, the podcast where we break down what makes a date movie a great movie. We're currently working our way through Vanity Fair's list of the 42 best romantic comedies of all time to see if they had us at hello or were a big mistake. Huge. I'm Jack, and with me is my podcast host to be, Nora Perone. And of course, we have a guest. Nora, would you like to introduce our guest?
yes, our guest today is the one and only Kobi Omenaka, a podcast host and producer. We know him best as the co-host of Flix Watcher, a Netflix podcast. And we all know each other because we got added to a WhatsApp group of film podcasters. And we're all way too active in that group because we love a group chat. So we're like basically best pals now.
Yeah, that's how it works.
I guess so, yeah. I set up that group like lockdown-ish, and it's wild how it can be like weeks of nothingness, and then suddenly it sparks up, and then the sparks will fly, bonfires burn, people leave at that point because they're like, nah, it's just too much for me. But it's not my most active WhatsApp group. So when people leave this one, I'm like, oh, you should see some other ones.
Okay, thank you for joining us today. Let's kick off with Nora's favorite question. What is your connection to the world of romcoms?
That's a wild and open question. I don't know how people answer this, but I'm going to give my heartfelt one.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
I find that they're often dismissed. Okay, I'll give you from my side. For example, I don't say I like horror films because people who like horror films, like wholeheartedly, will accept the really bad horror films as well.
Yes.
But then many times on FlixWatcher, there'll be, this year we've had Sinners, this year we've had Weapons, for example. These are amazing films which happen to be horror, and I'm wholeheartedly embrace them. But also there's a dirge of like really bad substandard things which horror fans will just literally lap up anyway. And that's kind of where I find myself with rom-coms. Although I think I'm more amenable to a rom-com than I am a poor rom-com versus what I would class to be a poor horror.
Because I love horror movies and I do like some bad ones, but I much prefer a bad rom-com to like a really bad horror movie.
I mean, on FlixWatch for the longest time we had as our highest rated film was When Harry Met Sally, and I couldn't have been more pleased for that. And I love it when a rom-com surprises me. And a key example of that is Crazy Stupid Love. When my flatmate at the time said, there's this really cool film with Steve Carell, and he was a big American Office fan. So I was like, oh yeah, you want to watch it because it's in Steve Carell. And I put it on anyway, and within like 2 minutes, I was like, oh, this is amazing. This is one of the best things ever. So I'm not sure if I dismissed it because of the name. And yeah, within 5 minutes, I was like blown over, and it was great. Seeing Gosling slap Steve Carell in the face is hilarious. And that is one of our highest rated films on FlixWatch. And rom-coms do rate quite highly if they're good because they're easy to rewatch.
Yeah.
To get the best out of them, you don't need to see them in the cinema as well. So our rating kind of favors non-super cinematic films. So, for example, Roma, which I absolutely adored as a film, and also City of God, for example, everyone was raving about it. But we have a score which is like small screens. You guys will join us soon. We're on a bit of a hiatus at the moment, but you are on the list. I think you're next on the list to join us. But
Yay.
One of the scores is small screen score, which is like watching it on your TV, your laptop, your iPad type thing. Roma and City of God, for example, are like made to be seen in the cinema.
Yeah.
So they score quite low for those, despite the fact everyone's like, yes.
It's so mad to me still that Roma is like a Netflix original.
Yeah.
Where I was like, and I watched it in my bedroom, and it's such a gripping and insanely beautiful film that I should have been able to give it the full attention of the cinema. I
inadvertently randomly met Alfonso Cuarón. He lives in London.
Oh, wow.
We're always running into him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like all over the place. But there was the screening as part of Sundance London Film Festival. And with these screenings at Sundance London, you always get the directors there. Yeah. As I was speaking to him, this guy came over and goes, hi, I just would say I really like your film. My name's Alfonso Cuarón. And we all looked at him like, what the... hell.
All right, Mr. Gravity.
Yeah, exactly. And thinking Roma is just like, because he shot it as well. He's the cinematographer behind it. And I'm like, fuck off. But for Alfonso Cuarón to go, nah, yeah, I'll do it myself and make one of the most stunning films ever, I was just like, fuck off.
New goal unlocked. I want someone to like my work enough that I meet them, I say my name, and they just go, fuck off. That's all I want in life.
You should meet Brian Cox from Succession. Just he'll tell you to fuck off.
People tell me to fuck off for other reasons, like frequently, but I would like a positive fuck off.
Hey, Nora. Fuck off.
Doesn't count. So you respect a rom-com. You are happier to engage with a bad rom-com than a bad horror.
Yeah.
I think that's no one's made quite that point to that question. I think that is such a good one because I'm the same. Like, I will watch a shit rom-com and I will enjoy it. I may not come back to it.
But you also probably wouldn't watch a good horror as well. I
watch some good horrors. I'm a wimp. So I avoid horror for the most part. But there are several that I like. Yeah,
I mean, with the caveat that I still would be wary of there was a period where Matthew McConaughey and Sandra Bullock were leaning against stuff in rom-coms. And
you're talking about the golden age here.
Is it? Are they there? This film, Coming to America, when you guys said, do you want to come on talk about rom-com Coming to America, I was like, oh, I guess it is. This is for the first time after seeing it many times since as a child, how I actually thought of it as a rom-com. And when I watched it for this, I was like, oh, I can see why I hadn't thought of it as a rom-com.
Yeah.
It's definitely comedic. It's got some romance elements in it.
There are some really nice romantic comedy moments in this movie, I think. And I think it's interesting. This is probably the film maybe tied with Nutty Professor, where I feel Eddie leans most into his rom-com lead. I think the character of Akeem is actually a really, really sweet lead of a rom-com.
So sweet.
Yeah, and far less acerbic than types of characters that Eddie Murphy has been known for playing as well. He's a real, like, nice, sweet, innocent boy.
And also, if we go with our, like, basic definition of a rom-com, 99, I mean, basically if you consider that they came to America for him to find a wife, all of the comedy arises from his search for love, and then specifically from him chasing Lisa, which in my book makes it fully a rom-com. Nothing really happens that isn't about that.
Well, let's, like, before we get too deep into it now, let's jump into the stats.
Cool. I love a stat.
So this is Coming to America. This is number 13 on our list.
Lucky 13.
It's directed by John Landis.
Who did Coming to America, the sequel? I can't remember.
It's Craig Brewer.
Oh, right.
Craig Brewer, who did Hustle and Flow.
Okay.
And did Dolomite is My Name.
Yeah. Well, Dolomite is Name is a great film.
Yeah. Also did Song Sung Blue this year.
Oh, did he?
Oh, which is great.
Is Craig Brewer black? I don't know.
No. It was almost like a shock for me when I went on his IMDb this morning and I was like, oh. I did not.
I would have thought.
I would have
thought that nowadays Coming to America would be directed by a black filmmaker. But John Landis and Eddie had a great relationship, so it made sense for them to make that together in the 80s. But I didn't feel. I think most of the creative fuel for this film was Eddie Murphy, so he's ostensibly the director behind this.
It's interesting, actually, if I think about it. I'm not sure, outside of like some of the directing he did himself, I'm not sure if Eddie Murphy's worked with that many black directors. Just off the top of my head.
I also thought it was strange. I read that, the dance sequence when they're introducing his like arranged bride to be was choreographed by Paula Abdul.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
I mean, the dance sequence is great.
Sure. It just seems like such an odd choice if you're trying to get any kind of authenticity for what's supposed to be this like traditional African dance. I was just like, Paula Abdul? We love her, but
is she the person to do that?
Right.
Maybe she studied African dance. I thought
maybe she did.
The same. I didn't know who directed it, but I was wondering today. I was like, who did actually direct this?
Yeah, it's interesting.
I mean, it's obviously it's like it's very Americanized. It's very 80s as well. In the fact they just say, "Hey, you from Africa?" instead of like saying the country.
Yes.
Which is, I have to say, that is what an American would say.
Oh yeah, I know. I completely get that. But I mean, I've said it myself, and you're from South America. Hey, you're from Asia. I'm like, I do need to try and say what you're the country.
Yeah. I mean, Zamunda is a great country name. The other country that I can't remember if it's referenced in the first movie, but in the second movie, you find out that the country that the bride to be and the general is from is called Nextdoria.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yes, this stars Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall. I love Arsenio in these movies. James L. Jones, John Amos, Madge Sinclair, and Sherry Headley. This was released on the 29th of June, 1988. Was made on a budget of $36 million, and at the US box office, it raked in $128.1 million, and then worldwide $288.7 million, which is fucking great for a 1988 movie.
Well, it's 9x its value. It's,
I was saying this to Nora before we started recording, but just like Eddie Murphy at the box office in the 80s was just a different beast. It's incredible. And then it's got a Rotten Tomatoes score of 73%. Honestly, it's lower than I thought it would be.
Is that audience score or
that's a critic score?
Okay. What's the audience score though? That's where.
Let's find out.
Do you know have that stat? Sorry to.
No.
No. These are the important questions. That's why we need you to ask the hard-hitting questions.
85%. Still lower than I'd think it would be.
Yeah, I would have put in a 90.
Yeah. And that's with over 250,000 ratings.
Wow.
Okay. I mean, look, that's decent.
Yeah. Look. It's not, it's not rotten for sure. And then IMDb describes it as an extremely pampered African prince travels to Queens, New York, and goes undercover to find a wife that he can respect for her intelligence and strong will. Which, if that's not a rom-com plot.
Yeah.
There's a few things with rom-coms I often struggle with. One is finding your wife or finding your life partner has to be the driving cause. This guy's 21. At 21, I don't know what I thought when I watched it when I was like 8 years old, but 21 was like super old. But now 21 to be settled down and married for me is like, what? Hey, what are you doing?
Crazy. You're a child.
In such a short space of time, 40 days. Why? If they'd like known each other through high school, gone to university together, and then came out the other end and together, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. But why does it have to be?
You gotta have your arbitrary rules.
Yeah, exactly.
I buy it a bit more because he's fighting against this arranged marriage tradition. And his dad is like, I guess you can go on a trip for 40 days, but then you have to get married. So he's like, maybe the only way I can be happy in my life is if I use those 40 days to find someone else to marry, because I'm going to have to get married either way.
Yeah.
I also think I buy it because it's a fairy tale, really. Like, this is a prince from a faraway land.
That's true.
Is searching for his bride. Like,
Cinderella got like 3 days max. 40 days is luxurious.
Because it is a fairy tale castle. There is the thing of just being in a palace and giraffes looking over you whilst you're having a chat with your dad. Baba the elephant walks past.
I love Baba.
So cute. And I'm going to read the Vanity Fair blurb.
Yes.
Eddie Murphy enjoyed a string of comedic hits in the 80s, including Trading Places and Beverly Hills Cop, but no vehicle captures him at the height of his powers like Coming to America. Murphy plays Prince Akeem, a royal heir who finds himself disillusioned with life in his African country and journeys to Queens, New York, in pursuit of a wife who can be his equal. Thanks to prosthetics from makeup artist Rick Baker, Murphy and his co-star Arsenio Hall take on multiple supporting roles in the film, which also stars Sherry Headley as his one true love. The enduring love for Coming to America spawned a middling 2021 sequel, which only solidified the original's lightning in a bottle synergy. That is Savannah Walsh, and I'm just going to give a shout out to the word synergy.
Okay.
Great use of that word, which I think of as like a corporate bullshit word. I feel like it's used very well here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Savannah.
As someone who watched Coming #2 America this morning for the first time, she's right on the middling sequel of it all.
Have you seen the sequel, Kobi?
Yeah. So when it came out, I wasn't anywhere near as good as I'd love it to have been.
Yeah. I think watching, because I've seen Coming to America so many times before, and then I watched them back to back basically with this time. And it's an interesting one. And I think the thing that just stuck out to me the most was I think the original movie is actually just really beautiful to look at. Those sets are great. The use of animals is great. And then it's just so much CGI in the sequel.
The thing that disappointed me most about the sequel is I would have loved for Sherry Headley to get more to do in this, because they get married because of the person that she is. And it's a complete antithesis to who he was betrothed to and that system. And yet then she's completely sidelined in the second film. And I feel that was a really good opportunity to have reinforced how they fell in love.
I agree. They give him 3 like strong and interesting daughter characters in the new one. And they get sidelined for Jermaine Fowler's character, who is fine. I like Jermaine Fowler as a comic, but yeah, just it's nowhere near as charming or as funny or as just like radical as the first one.
I should say I didn't see it.
You're fine.
But that is disappointing.
As I said earlier, I found Eddie so charming in this movie. And there is the wonderful thing about the prosthetics is that he gets to do more of his sort of edgier work. I think this movie doesn't really work without Eddie Murphy. I mean, this movie doesn't exist without Eddie Murphy.
No, I was just looking at, because he was like 17, wasn't he, when he was on Saturday Night Live or something ridiculous?
Yeah, he was so young and got famous so quickly.
Yeah.
Wow.
So for him, this at 21, I'm not sure if he was even 21 at this point.
I think he's a little older than 21.
Yeah. So he was living his life. He was that age. Arsenio Hall was probably older. Because Eddie's one of those like he's just an astonishingly distinctive, unique person that kind of person comes across once in a lifetime. It was right to let him have reins of it. Well, I remember watching it as a kid quite a lot. My brother saying, that's Eddie Murphy, and that's Eddie Murphy, and that's Eddie Murphy as well. It's like, no, it's not. And then
I still don't believe it. Those prosthetics are so good, and I was sitting there with IMDb like sort of checking each character, like, who is that? And I was like, bullshit. Bullshit.
So my first introduction to Eddie Murphy as a kid was the Nutty Professor movies.
Sure.
And I just thought he was that big. I thought that's who he is. That's Eddie Murphy. On the front cover of the video, it said Eddie Murphy and had a picture of him in that getup. And I was like, well, yeah. And so some other guy must be playing Buddy Love.
Oh, okay.
I love that movie.
The makeup in this is absolutely insane. It's so good.
Yeah, it's Oscar nominated.
Good.
And then Oscar nominated again for the sequel.
I haven't seen it, but good.
Yeah, the makeup is.
Oh, okay, okay. That makes sense.
And this one also gets a costume nod, and the costumes are fantastic. Everybody looks great, especially like in Zamunda. But even down to the McDowell's outfits.
Yeah.
It's weird how I watched this when I was 8, and so many of the jokes just flew over my head. Because for me, I was just like, this is Eddie Murphy. I'm going to laugh at anything he does because he's great. But so many jokes flew over my head, such as the monologue that Cleo McDowell does comparing McDonald's versus McDowell's. He feels a need to like explain what the differences are when it's like, there's no difference. And things like Queens, I didn't really get that as a gag. When I first saw it, and
it's such a nice little moment when they both say Queens at the same time.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like maybe that was the pitch for the movie.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking,
because it's so good. It's such a good hook. I feel like you walk into a studio with that and they're like just throwing money at you.
Just on the differences for McDowell's, Paramount sued a company that did a pop-up McDowell's restaurant.
Oh, what?
So even McDowell's you got McDonald's isn't suing McDowell's, Paramount is.
But there's no sesame seeds on the bun, so they're two different things.
That's our differentiator.
It's golden arches. We have golden arcs.
Yeah,
it's great. It's such a silly gag.
To be fair, they do have a salad bar, which McDonald's could never.
No.
Honestly, two completely different businesses.
And they got lots of mopping.
So much mopping.
The shots of Akeem is going past Lisa's office, and he's just mopping with that huge smile on his face. And, like, I die every time I see it. It's that's it. I think about Eddie Murphy playing like Axel Foley before this, or Billy Ray Valentine in Trading Places. And he's so like quick-witted and the smartest guy in the room and is always brilliant and doing that. It's really interesting to see him in this, where that's not who Akeem is. Like, Akeem is clever, but he's a fish out of water in this movie in a completely different way that Axel Foley is in Beverly Hills Cop. Because even when Axel Foley is the fish out of water in Beverly Hills, he still has a firm handle on what's going on. Akeem, like, learning to mop. It works better when you take it out of the bucket.
No, he says, don't even use the bucket. It'll just confuse you.
Yeah, that's it. Oh my God. John Amos is so funny in this movie.
Yeah.
And also has one of my favorite parts of the movie later on when he is defending his daughter to James Earl Jones. I love that moment. I love that it turns into, actually, no, I'm going to stand. I've been this sort of comedy character, but I also have morals. And that really gets me every time I see it.
Yeah, that is really a nice moment. James Earl Jones, apparently, when he read the script, he was like, well, you all really don't know much about Africa, but you know a lot about Queens. So, like, fuck it, I'm in.
Really?
Which, yeah, if that doesn't sum this movie up in a nutshell, like...
I guess let's talk about Zamunda for a bit. The status quo of this movie. It's such a fun playground to play in. All the walking on rose petals.
Yeah.
The royal penis is clean, Your Majesty.
Oh my God.
Well, that was never in the version I saw as a kid growing up.
Oh, really?
No.
Interesting.
We saw it. It was typically on ITV, and that bit was cut out, and most of the swearing was cut out.
Oh,
okay.
So the person who related to me was known as Samuel L. Jackson. For me, the version for me said, "Forget you." And me and my brother used to love that. And we used to say it to each other all the time. And then one day when I watched the proper version and it was "fuck you," I just literally lost my shit. So I was like, what the fuck?
My childhood.
It's like it's like the people who grew up listening to CeeLo Green on the radio.
I was just about to say that. CeeLo Green all over again.
What's the censored version?
Forget you.
Yeah, it's fuck you or forget you.
It's the only word that works.
Forget you. Yeah. I did a little bit of reading because I wanted to know sort of like what if Zamunda was supposed to be based on a specific place, or like what the sort of purpose of it was. And apparently the idea was it was supposed to be, I mean, obviously it's a fictional place, but it was supposed to be like, this is an extremely wealthy country in Africa that was never colonized. And like, what does that look like? And in the design and the costume, they didn't want to place it in like a specific part of Africa. So they sort of pulled costume influences from like all different areas. So it's not like really set in a specific place. It's meant to be sort of like a fairy tale, basically.
I mean, Ryan Coogler must have had some inspiration from this when making Black Panther.
Like, they get compared a lot.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's one of the reasons I mean, I love that movie, but I think that I get ties to Coming to America every time I watch it. I'm like, yeah, I love this even more.
I read that people were turning up to screenings of Black Panther in costumes inspired by Coming to America.
Brilliant.
Which I kind of love. People should dress up more.
With Wakanda, I know that they pulled disparate areas of Africa, so put North Africa, West Africa, East Africa, and South Africa, and they made 4 kind of districts within Wakanda. So the different peoples across the African continent could be more well represented because it's a huge continent. So people from South Africa look very different and have different cultures to people in like Morocco, for example. And it's a similar thing across like just ostensibly Asia. You know, people are way different, have different cultures, have different whatever. So I really like that about Wakanda, in that it's pulling people together. And when you see those big scenes of the whole of Wakanda together, you can tell there are different tribes, there's different things going on. Zamunda doesn't have that from what I can tell. For me, it's always kind of leaned West African.
Yeah.
Like Nigeria, Ghana type.
Just thought that the interesting point was sort of, this is an uncolonized country.
I think that's an interesting point. Yeah. One thing that I was really interested in was this time around was how little they had a cover story for themselves. Because when she asked what school you at, yeah, I'm at university. Yeah, but which one?
The University of the United States. It's very small.
I love how uneducated they are on the US and like completely just have no real idea of US culture or anything like that.
But I think that's what makes it quite good, actually, is that they didn't.
Yeah.
Who cares? It's like, fine, we don't need to. You don't know much about Zamunda. We don't know that much about America.
Yeah.
It was very Love Actually in that, like, I'm going to go to America and meet women. And where does he go? Like Nebraska or something? Like somewhere really random?
Should have gone to Queens.
I imagine Queens is a lot different now to what it was then.
Well, now every apartment in Queens has a jacuzzi.
Yeah.
Although one thing that proves to me that New York never really changes in essence is that "good morning, my neighbors, hey, fuck you" is exactly the same as the scene from How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, where the guy yells, like, "Ladies of New York, frost yourselves." And the guy goes, "Fuck you." Same scene.
Yeah. I mean, it's so nice. Again, it's that happy-go-lucky Akeem. He's so happy.
Yes, fuck you too. Which is so cute.
What is the thing the cabbie says to him when he nearly gets hit at the beginning?
Just something.
He's like, "Are you a fucking idiot?" And then he's later on, he's like, "What is a fucking idiot?"
Yeah.
Kobi, you mentioned earlier that this is super 80s. And one of my notes was, it is certainly the 80s. So many women wearing sensible pumps to the club.
Were they?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never noticed it before, but the club scene, like the outfits are so 80s. It's like the bright colors, the bold patterns. But then there's women in sort of like 80s, like business, like a lot of pumps. And it kind of reminded me of how, like, when I was in college, we'd all wear like blazers out to the club. Yeah, I don't know why. Like, we were all in like business casual all the time.
Your business casual.
Yeah, I mean, that might have been me specifically. I don't know. I really like a blazer. I need to bring it back.
You do. You never wear blazers or pearls anymore.
It's true. I don't.
What you need to do is be like Kendrick Lamar and host the halftime show at the Super Bowl, and then everyone starts wearing bell bottoms again.
Yes.
So you need to become that good a musician or artist that you wear whatever you want, then people then the next day like start dusting off their clothes that they used to wear back in.
Often told Nora that she should be more like Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, people tell me that every day. But it's solid logic. You know, it's like I saw Katie Heron wearing army pants and flip-flops, so I bought army pants and flip-flops. Like, we just need to be cool and be trendsetters. There's not a lot of hope for me being like a fashion leader at this point in my life.
I see you as a fashionista.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
You sounded quite displeased at that comment, Adam.
Sarcasm.
Honestly,
sure.
I think you could pull off a lot of looks from this movie.
I love like the daughters, like so Lisa and Patrice. I think their outfits are incredible, particularly at the party.
Yes.
They both look amazing.
In the engagement.
Yeah.
Eric LaSalle, he's one of the reasons I started watching ER, because I was like, that's the guy.
I just started watching ER and I did not realize that it's Daryl. Because he's not got the Jerry curl anymore.
And I'm like, such a dick.
It's such an easy way to set him up as a dick right at the beginning, when it's just like, someone put a large amount of money in, and then he's like, I thought that was you. And he's like, yeah.
Well, and they show him like not like consciously not put the money in as well. Yeah, exactly. But then he's what a dick. I love the techniques that rom-coms use to be like, we don't like this guy, we're rooting for this guy. It's very effective.
And I love that, like, you've got to set him up like he is the rival prince in a way, because he is prince of the
Soul Glow.
Of Soul Glow, you know.
Soul Glow.
I love that shot at the party where they all stand up from the sofa and they've left, all three of them have left stains on the couch. It's really funny. And he's an absolute arse.
Yeah, just to declare they're getting married without even asking her.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that before. I don't think I've seen that in any film
Yeah,
or
women
scenario
just
since.
love when you take charge.
That's how I do it.
It sounded very of the manosphere type thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. That's probably why Daryl wasn't back for the sequel. He was too busy running his manosphere empire.
Yeah, that gave me a huge ick. If you have to trick a woman into marrying you,
She probably would have said yes if you asked her normally and said, hey, maybe not that night, but have you thought about getting married? Because she seemed into him up until that point.
Yeah.
Or she seemed like that he wasn't a dick until he revealed himself, his true colors.
He really isn't that much of a threat. Like,
No.
after that, he's not, it's never really like she considers going back with him.
No.
Just her dad inviting him round and then realizing Akeem is a prince and slamming the door in his face.
Look, she told you she doesn't like you.
and sets Dottie the dog on him. I love that dog.
All the cutaways to that dog.
Just fully like breaking the fourth wall. Like that dog is in an episode of The Office.
There were a couple of looks at the camera from Eddie and Eric LaSalle, weren't they?
Yeah, I think Arsenio gives one as well.
Oh yeah, he would have been allowed to. I can't remember that one, but
it's very John Landis because you've got that great bit in Trading Places as well, where Eddie looks to the camera after he's been told what orange juice and pork products are, and he just looks at the camera as if like, yeah, these people think I'm stupid.
Also, the other thing about Daryl being an asshole is when they're at the basketball game and he's like, what do you do in Africa?
Oh my god, he's
like,
so fucking racist.
Right, it's like
xenophobic. Like,
right.
It's so fucking nuts.
I do really love his line though. Personally, I don't like any sport where you don't use your hands.
Yeah. So my mind was like, okay, so that means golf, ice hockey, running, like a lot of athletics sports. It's like, what's the matter with you? So the only sports you like are American football, basketball.
Yeah.
Great. That sounds
Rugby.
Like a boring, basic man. Like
because handball.
It's his favorite. It's in the title.
Well,
You mentioned that the sequel kind of sidelines the women. I think that's so interesting because I feel like the women have so much agency in this one. Like, so they present this woman that he's supposed to marry, and she's like a robot who's been trained to just say whatever he wants to be, whatever he wants.
Don't worry, she comes back for the sequel.
Oh, great.
She does the same thing.
Oh, but his mother presumably received the same grooming and upbringing, to be, groomed to be the queen. She does not seem like a woman who is trained to have no opinions. But she speaks her mind. She has distinct opinions from her husband. She is the one who changes his mind about whether Akeem can marry Lisa. She's clearly, making decisions in that household.
I was thinking that as after 21 years plus 9 months of marriage, she's now given more cause to speak her mind.
Yeah.
So there's that nice scene at the start where they're around the massive dinner table.
Huge table.
Nausea turning into love.
It's a very fine line between love and nausea.
Yeah. And she gives him a look back at that point.
I love the panic when Akeem is walking the length of the table. Get the rose petals.
Wait, stop there.
Why shouldn't you have rose petals at your feet? They are great movie parents, so much so that they were reused in The Lion King.
Yeah, don't you love that? They're Mufasa and Sarabi.
Yeah.
Did she play Sarabi?
Yeah.
I knew it was James Earl Jones, but I didn't realize. Brilliant.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So people always talk about Nala being their animated animal crush. Sarabi was mine.
Oh, really?
Sarabi is a sophisticated, sexy lion.
I like that, they're in two worlds where James Earl Jones and Madge Blake have kids. One of them's Eddie Murphy and one of them's Matthew Broderick.
Amazing.
The whitest boy to white boy. And I say that as the whitest boy to white boy.
Yeah, you're up there on that list.
But yeah, I love them in this movie. James Earl Jones is both very funny and intimidating.
The way he just kicks John Amos Cleo out of his daughter's room.
Yeah.
Leave us now.
Yeah.
It's my housemate.
He's got such a great presence.
Yes.
I mean, it's fucking Darth Vader.
But he also has this kind of insane energy at times where he's like,
it was I was thinking it's a bit like Jack Nicholson-esque, his like smile,
Yes.
malevolent smile at some points.
Unsettling.
He's got cheekiness about him that's really fun.
Yeah.
The scene where he takes Akeem out for like the walk, where we meet Babar, he's clearly having fun. And when he's like, "Oh yes, you need to sow your royal oats," like
I had no idea what that meant as an 8-year-old.
Oh, as an 8-year-old, I was about to be like, if you don't know what it means now, I will happily explain.
Oh no, this is a family show.
And that tying in with Semi, like saying when they were cleaning the windows, going, it's been 2 weeks and I've not had sex since. I don't know what they did with that version, or maybe they just didn't understand what was going on. Again, that's what I mean about just not guessing half the jokes or half the points as an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
I'm quite surprised my parents let me watch this.
Well, yeah, because I definitely watched it when I was like very young, and I watched it again and was like, oh my God, like this is so adult, and there's so much language and like explicit adult content, like nudity, and
I mean, the whole barbershop stuff is very, like crass. And yeah, like I think this is and my note is that this is probably the earliest into any of the movies we've covered that we've had nudity.
Yeah, it's so soon.
Yeah. It's right up top.
I was like, whoa.
It's what's up top and off top,
Yeah. I was just like, oh, boobs. Okay.
and then more come out from the water. You're like, okay, fine.
This is a complete subject change. I have one bone to pick with this movie, which is
just the one.
Probably a few, but like this one stuck out to me is one of Arsenio Hall's like quick little supporting characters. It's when they have the like carousel of women in the club.
Yeah. The ugly woman.
Yeah, is credited as extremely ugly girl. And I was like, was not ugly at all, actually. Like, I think...
Oh, the lady who he played as a lady.
Yeah, I think he looked actually very glam. And I was like, extremely ugly because slightly more masculine features? Like, I actually disagree with that assessment.
Though I will say there is something terrifying, I guess, about the idea of someone who looks exactly like you coming on to you.
Alarming. Ugly? No. I disagree.
I was actually quite interested because obviously knowing now that they play multiple characters, how well they cut between the scenes, and they didn't have the technique where they were on the same screen at the same time, because I think that would have been super janky in the 80s. But Eddie Murphy speaking to Eddie Murphy in the crosstalk in the barber scenes, for example, seemed seamless. To the extent that I just generally didn't notice it. And I was kind of thinking, how did they edit this together? It must have been really, like, really finely tuned. I did wonder if Eddie Murphy, when he played, I guess, ostensibly the Jewish guy, with if he did all that in one day, because that would have been a pain to put that makeup on. And then
I feel like you've got to do each day the different makeup job.
Yeah, because they said it was like 4 hours of makeup.
As a yes and with the what's it called, extremely ugly girl in the club,
the hideous woman,
extremely ugly girl.
I think I never liked it when his wife to be was presented at the start of Zamunda, and a large woman comes to the front and everyone goes, "Oh my God!"
Yeah.
I never like that, and I like it even less now.
Yeah, that's a joke that really doesn't.
It falls very
and it feels false for Akeem, actually.
Yeah.
One
of my early notes is just Akeem is a feminist, he wants a woman who like challenges his mind. And I do love the scene where he's talking to his bride to be and he's like, what do you like? I like whatever you like. Like it's such a terrifying sort of
makes me really sad because I just imagine like what has her life been like and what is she actually thinking in that moment? Has she been brainwashed or is she performing?
Oh yeah, totally.
So they do that joke again in the sequel, and I think the interesting part, well, not interesting, but the wild part to me is that it's Tiana Taylor playing the role.
Oh, is it?
And I'm just sort of like, oh, you've just been on like the Oscar fast track. And it's so weird watching you now just being like, I like whatever movies you like. I'm like, oh God, it's such a different role from Perfidia in one battle after another.
And the cross for that scene as well is, I think that certainly helped me as a guy growing up thinking, I mean, lots of cool stuff happened in the 80s. We had a female prime minister at the time, which people didn't like. But for me, it was also like, oh, there's no reason why women can't be prime minister. And for that scene to see Eddie Murphy, who's one of my heroes at the time, along with like Steve Martin and Arnold Schwarzenegger, saying like, hey, have your own opinion. What's the matter with you? And I think that's an interesting takeaway. I think that's a quite progressive in displaying that that's an important thing that people want.
I love that actually that Akeem falls in love with Lisa because he sees her speaking at a rally.
Mhm.
He's charged by like not just her beauty but also like her passion and her ability to be
Hold the
there for
crowd.
hold the crowd and be there for the community. Like,
And she's very beautiful, obviously, but she's also dressed very conservatively, and he's just been looking at a row of women in bikinis.
yeah.
So it's not a shallow attraction.
Beauty pageant bit as well. I'm like, nah.
I mean, I think that just goes to just how awful the Reverend Brown is. Like,
oh my God. I also can't believe that is Eddie Murphy. Like, the prosthetics have just changed his whole face shape.
Wait, no, Reverend Brown is
oh no,
Arsenio.
sorry, I wasn't. Yeah. I'm thinking of the singer. The singer
Randy
is Eddie Murphy.
is.
I think Arsenio Hall actually comes through. Like, he's more visible in his characters than Eddie Murphy is.
He is.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. Eddie Murphy is so comfortable in those prosthetics. Like,
it's crazy.
He disappears into roles. But yeah, I think it's a really nice way to introduce the love interest for this movie.
They are so sweet together. Like, when they're on their date and they're dancing and they're walking, and those are things people do, dancing and walking. They're just so sweet.
Yeah.
Was there a meet cute in this film? Because I think that's kind of what was.
It's not a good meet cute. It's him awkwardly mopping and being like, do you have garbage that I could take out? And she's like, all right, you friggin' weirdo.
Whenever you think of garbage, think of Akeem.
So,
it's good in a way.
If you want, that's what you want me to relate to you.
Like, it's an awkward meet cute where like he did not pull that off, and then he has to like sort of work his way in.
But it's good because like he's never had to properly talk to a woman before.
No.
And so it's really nice watching him sort of figure out what he's doing.
You know what it's a lot like is the meet cute in The Prince and Me, which is the same premise essentially of like Prince goes undercover to meet a woman who doesn't know that he's a prince or whatever, and she just like hates him on sight. Yeah, exactly. It's white coming to America, but she like hates him on sight because he's kind of an asshole, and he has to like fix that. And this is like, she doesn't hate him, but she's kind of like thinks he's a bit of a weirdo.
I like that Lisa doesn't hate Akeem in any way.
Not at all.
She's not put off by him. She finds it charming and sort of understands.
She doesn't initially find it charming. Like, she's really kind of like, oh, please go away. Like, I think she thinks he's a bit like dumb.
I think also she's just got work to do, and this guy is just like.
I think the scene where she invites him to the basketball game, like you can tell, like she's like, oh, he's from a foreign land, and he doesn't know every one of our customs, but like I'm going to treat him as an equal, as I would for anyone in this place. I love that.
You don't see the whole development of their relationship because you can see that like clearly they've had other interactions, and she has sort of got a soft spot for him by the time that happens, but you don't think see that
the trash man anymore,
right? Because in that initial, he does not make a good first impression in that meet cute.
What I like. I feel sorry for his sisters. That's
Patrice.
Patrice seems genuinely into him as well. So, but there's definitely something about him that's endearing to people, and that's part of what cuts through.
Well, he's so earnest.
Yeah, and that's part of what annoys Eric LaSalle's Soul Glow guy as well, is that he's honest in a way that he
could never be.
He could never be. Akeem was happy. Well, Akeem was happy. Not Semi wasn't really happy. Akeem was happy to learn how to mop, to try and better himself.
Semi's not happy about anything.
No, Semi's not happy.
I'm with Semi.
I don't want to mop
either. Like, I don't think they had to live in that place. Like, you can sell yourself as an ordinary person without literally rooming with rats.
I'm so sad we never get to see the other apartment.
Oh, yeah, where the guy lived. He's like, it's a shithole. You'll love it.
Yeah, you and I will trade apartment.
The landlord is my favorite character in the movie. I love him. I loved all of his scenes. I wanted him to have more.
Have you seen The Wire?
No.
He plays Urban Burrell in The Wire. Is quite a key character in The Wire. So when I saw him, I was like,
Frankie Faison, is that?
Yeah, Frankie Faison.
I just thought he was so fucking funny in this.
He is really funny. He's got such a great delivery.
I think one of the reasons I probably hadn't thought about this being a rom-com is it's like 2 hours long, this film, and you don't meet Lisa for well over half an hour. And so it's a lot about just Eddie and, well, Semi and Akeem and their antics for the first half hour. And I feel more modern rom-coms kind of get to the point a lot quicker.
Yes.
I agree. I mean, it's a character comedy as well as a romantic comedy. So there's a lot to set up there before you get to the romantic aspect of it. But I do think that when it does get to it, like the scene outside after the the botched engagement where they're just sitting outside the party and they have their little like heart to heart, it's really sweet. And you see him sort of be a little bit more assertive about his feelings to her. It's really nice.
That reminded me of a scene from Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're brother and sister in that scene, but just like two people on the swings in the snow.
I know I mentioned it earlier, but I do love the little nod to Trading Places in this movie. I think it's really funny and probably plays like an alien scene if you don't know Trading Places.
Is that the two guys?
The two.
So I haven't seen Trading Places. I think it works fine out of context as well.
And you know who one of the guys is?
Ralph Bellamy.
Ralph Bellamy from His Girl Friday.
The man with the longest career of anyone in Hollywood.
That we've covered.
He had like a 62-year career.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, because we covered His Girl Friday, which is a movie from 1940 where he's the like secondary love interest. And then he's doing this in 1988. I think his last movie was in like 1992 or something.
Something like that, yeah. I love it. I love that we've covered two Ralph Bellamy movies and this is one of them.
Yeah, insane. I wrote in my notes, Mortimer, we're back.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Well, it does feel like this movie is full of references to other things. Like James Earl Jones has a line that is just a Darth Vader line. Like he says,
what does he say?
Do not alert him to my presence. I shall deal with him myself.
Yes,
which is exactly, I mean, it's not quite the same wording, but it's the same sentiment where Vader's like, don't tell Luke, like I'm gonna get him.
I mean, it's very fun in that way. Like, it's not an overt like parody movie, but it's a fun sort of like play around. I can completely see not immediately thinking of this as a rom-com, but yeah, I get it, especially when watching it. It's very charming.
No, I definitely think if someone had said to me, is Coming to America a rom-com, I would have gone, oh, yeah, you're right. But it just never landed in my head as...
Well, it wasn't sold that way. It wasn't marketed that way.
But in the same way you said about Silence of the Lambs, for me, I wouldn't class that as a horror, but also, it is ostensibly.
Yeah, I insist on calling it a horror because I have this thing where people sort of act like when I told my dad that we were covering Groundhog Day, he was like, well, that's a really good movie. That's not a rom-com. And I was like, funny that you think those things are mutually exclusive. Like it can be both. And I think horror and romance are genres that are very unfairly maligned. And people sort of go, well, that's good. Therefore, it's not a horror. Therefore, it's not a rom-com. And I'm like, it is, though. Like, why? I mean, it's like,
I do think
psychological thriller. It's got multiple genres. But it is a horror movie. It's not that.
Well, now you can just go for Get Out and be like, well, that's a horror movie and that's well respected.
Right. But also, horror and romance are the two genres, I think the only two genres that have disproportionately more women as protagonists. And I don't think it's a coincidence that those are the genres that everyone thinks are trashy.
That's a very good point.
Boom.
That's your thesis.
Yeah, it is.
I want to give my my nod to who I think should have won an Oscar for this movie. And that is Paul Bates as Oha.
Has he done anything since?
He's in Coming to America.
Good for him. Did you want him to win for Best Original Song?
I mean, definitely. That moment is so fucking funny to me.
Yeah.
It goes on for so long. The fact that there's no like backing music to accompany it makes it even funnier.
That's another one where I want to Google and understand how that came about, because he's not the best singer.
No, he's not.
No.
And the way he's like he's got his head thrown back the whole time singing.
And the lyrics, like totally free of disease.
In the sequel, during the credits, Your Bride to Be is covered by John Legend. Which is probably the best part of the sequel.
What an amazing choice. Do we want to talk best song?
I mean, haven't I just?
I mean, yes, but it's not on Spotify. So do you have another song you want to put on the list?
Yeah, I do actually. I wrote one down. I love To Be Loved.
That was mine.
Oh, Nora.
It's fine. Yeah, we can, yeah.
I mostly love it because of the way Eddie Murphy sings it.
Yes.
After his date. It's so sweet.
And everyone's screaming out like, shut up, we're trying to sleep.
But he loves it.
It's the song that's playing when they're dancing on their date.
Yeah.
And then he sings it on the way home. It's very sweet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I love the sorry, I just remembered him waking up in this movie and they're like, happy birthday. And I was like, yes, it is my birthday.
As a kid then, I always used to think he must sleep so soundly because he doesn't hear Oha open the cupboard above his head and then slam it shut, open the cupboard above his head, shut the clock. And I'm like, why isn't there a clock anywhere else in the room for a start? He doesn't hear the musicians like file into their, I don't know what's that called, the circle it would be in, I guess, in a theatre, preparing themselves.
Yeah.
It's a film, it's a fairy tale, as you say, but
yeah, but it's great.
As a kid, I was just like, what is this? What's
a whole orchestra loading in to play his alarm? Insane. Kobi, do you have a song for the playlist?
Well, She's a Queen to Be. That was when I saw that written down, and I didn't need to watch the film to know what it was going to be. I didn't look to see if it was on Spotify.
That's okay. It can still have an honorary place in the playlist, and if it ever appears,
the John
on Spotify,
Legend one might be on there.
Oh, okay. We'll look for that one. If it's on there, we'll add it. Another little like musical fun fact is that Kanye West references this movie in Gold Digger. It says, he got that ambition, baby. Look at his eyes. This week he mopping floors. Next week it's the fries.
Yeah. So that is actually, because when that guy was talking about the fries and stuff, I was like, okay. I was wondering why it resonated. I was wondering why it kind of stuck in my craw, and that'll be why.
There you go. Yeah. I just thought we're like, that's a really good lyric.
And then also just because, I mean, it's a job, but also surely you can learn those within a week. I don't know what.
Yeah, 2 years to work your way up to assistant manager.
I mean, that's work life, you know.
Yeah.
All right, that's beautiful lineup of songs.
Great. So now would do, wouldn't do, have done.
Okay.
My would do is that I would be riveted watching that drama play out on the subway. That would be the best day of my life if I was there watching that happen.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a royal drama.
Right? Like a man's like, I will give up my throne because I love you. I'd be like, yes.
Would you have believed it as a thing, or just because if I was someone watching that in the subway, I probably would have thought it was a theatre piece that they'd
it's like
carved out together.
It's social media.
It's too beautiful to be true.
I don't know. I would probably buy in immediately.
Oh, really?
They would get me.
That's the more realistic option to you. Sure. Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's because I want it to be true. I'd be like, sure. I want to be witnessing this.
Because when I've been in New York and also in London, I've seen some amazing stuff happen that people have performed on the tube specifically. So I'm like, that's just what you do. And then would expect them to hold a cap out for some money.
I would be the old Jewish guy in the barbershop. I would love to be in that environment and just argue all day about who was the best boxer.
Just give it a few more years.
Yeah, it's on its way, I can tell you.
Love that.
I would love to have the balls to confront an armed Samuel L. Jackson with a bow stick.
Wow, yeah.
Such a good scene. Yeah. I love all the bow stuff in this movie.
Yeah, that was very cool.
Yeah.
And a good opportunity for him to win over Lisa as well.
Oh, yeah, it's such a cool one. And Daryl being like, oh, I would have jumped in, but
I had a coffee in my hand. That's the excuse I'm going to use for everything from now on.
Nora, why isn't this episode edited? I had a coffee in my
hand. So wouldn't do. I would not just turn up by walking down the aisle like that. Like I'd want to have some serious conversations with the man I was intending to marry in between storming out of the subway and walking down the aisle.
So do we know that she didn't?
Yeah, because he's shocked. Like
He's
so
shocked because he's
surprised.
always shocked to see her because she's so beautiful.
No, it's obvious and it's a surprise. Stop it. Do not fuck with me, Jack Gregson. But also, like, she's marrying into royalty, which is an insane thing to do, even if you have thought about it and prepped and planned, which she clearly hasn't. And that stresses me out. I wouldn't do that.
Well, it's similar to my wouldn't do. I wouldn't marry into royalty.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Neither would I, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's just a bit too much going on here.
Too much for me. I couldn't handle the scrutiny.
I just thought of another would do.
Go on. Well, so I did have a wouldn't do, but it's gone out of my mind.
One of my other would do's is that I would go to a sexual chocolate concert.
I think I wouldn't.
Well, unfortunately, you're coming with me.
Okay, that's fine.
I think I wouldn't do. I wouldn't have been the valet at the McDowell's house when they were getting the ticket in the cold. I was just, no, mate.
I like that. I love that. Such a sitcom joke. Oh, I've got a party I want you guys to come to, and then they are outside as well.
Yeah, that sucks. Hated that. Yeah, I also wouldn't do it.
I also like that, like, he sets them up as like outside, and then he's like, actually, Akeem, you come with me inside.
And I was wondering if they could actually drive, because they seem to be actually quite useless.
I can't imagine they do.
Can't tie his shoes. There's no way you can drive.
Well, tying your shoelaces is an overrated experience.
I completely agree. I do it all the time, and I think it's overrated.
No, my shoes are permanently kind of tied, and I slipped them in.
Yeah.
Got to get those Skechers slip-ons.
I guess they could drive because sort of like driving sports cars or whatever is like a rich person hobby.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, they play polo, it seems.
Yeah. So have done. I have been that toxic positive person who tries to get my friends to look on the bright side. And when Semi says, look at it this way, at least we learned how to make French fries, I was like, oh, that's me. I wish it wasn't, but I would totally say that.
Nora, I love you. I never think of you as toxic positivity.
Okay, good. Because I'm like, well, we all learned something today, didn't we? And people are like, shut the fuck up, Nora.
Semi's so funny. I have burst into song after like an incredible date.
Have you?
Aww.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What was the song?
I've done like what a day it has been, what a rare mood I'm in, why it's almost like being in love.
That's very cute.
Yeah.
I also think this was your have done on our 51st dates episode.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's a good one. You
Yeah.
can reuse it. You have my permission.
Thank you. Like, yeah, it's I love it when, you know, you get those butterflies in your stomach and you're like excited and then she never calls you again.
Oh. Hey, but like at least you had a good day.
At least we learned to make
French
fries.
I have played with a bow stick.
Ooh.
So this is tying into your would do.
Yeah,
you're building your way up to, and then one day you see Samuel L. Jackson out there, and you're just like, ah.
That's maybe why I'm like, I would do, but also, you know, he's still pointing a shotgun at my face. So
well, you got to have a Semi with you.
Yeah, you need backup.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't say one of my favorite bits. I think Arsenio Hall is so funny in this, and I love his like spit take.
Yes.
I was like, we don't have enough spit takes anymore. Put more spit takes in movies, please. It's when Extremely Ugly Girl is like, also your friend, and he's like, the joke doesn't entirely make sense, but I just was like, I love a spit take, so I'll have it.
So another have done is the send back for more money bit, but not asking for millions. That was another scene which I didn't quite get.
It's so funny.
Oh,
300,000 is that
actually.
enough? Make it 400,000. Why not just a cool million? When I first watched that, I was like, don't get it.
She's so funny. She's just pure chaos, doing it for the plot. But she doesn't get that he doesn't get what's happening there.
I mean, she's the reason everything goes tits up, you know?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. It's all her fault.
I do wonder if he just said 300,000, would they have come out? But the fact it's a million is like, hold on, something's definitely gone wrong.
Yeah, and also they don't try to call or anything first. They just fly out there.
Yeah.
And where are they going to call?
That's true. They don't know where they are. Good point. Well, you could have wired back and been like, I need to talk to you.
Wiring back and forth is Fucking no,
You're right.
man.
I would fly out too.
He's the king of Zamunda.
Well, I would have thought he would have sent someone out rather than going out
For his son?
Yeah.
The bit
He's never
when
left the country before.
When he goes to the barber shop and the Jewish man is stroking the lion pelt. So that's nice. Is that velvet?
It's a dead ass lion.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
But yeah, I've sent back for money, I think at university, and also when traveling, I was just like, I need some more funds.
Sometimes needs must.
No judgment. I must have done that too. My parents used to send me like wire transfers and stuff. Like, 'cause I moved to the UK 12 years ago, and now it's so much easier to transfer money between countries than it used to be.
Shall we move on to the rom-com Bradow?
Well, we should.
The rom-com Bradow, for those who do not know, is a scientific method in which we evaluate romantic comedies. This is a 4-part system. The first 3 parts are out of 5. So that's lead/chemistry, supporting characters, and plot. And then we have a 0 to 100 rom-com scale. That is, if it's at 0, it's more romantic. If it's at 100, it's more comedic. And if it's at 50, it is the perfect balance of rom and com. So let's kick off with leads/chemistry out of 5. How are we all feeling?
This is something I challenge with rom-coms, and I think the perfect lead/chemistry, and probably why I do put these as my 2 favorite rom-coms, are because I think the chemistry is unimpeachable. But then there's also been a period of time where they've built it up.
Mm-hmm.
So when How I Met Sally, it's over years, and it makes sense at that point. In Crazy Stupid Love, it's not that period of time, but it makes sense that they are going down that journey, and they've experienced a lot together in that time.
Yeah.
So for me, the fact that the time period is very, very short, for me, makes it difficult to do that. But in that time, I'll give it 3.5 out of 5.
I said 3.5.
I was going for 3.5 as well.
Wow.
Look at this.
So aligned.
No, it's it's very nice, but it's it's a little, it's also truncated by the fact that a lot of the movie is about the fish out of water stuff as well as the but they are very nice together. Supporting characters. This is a easy 5 for me. There's just 5. So many great ones and just so much fun to be had.
5 just for the landlord.
He's a real piece of shit.
I love him.
Just wait till he's renting you a room. And plot. I think this is like a nice 4.
I said 4.
Hey, Nora Perone. We're in sync. Yeah, it's a 4. Like it's nothing. It doesn't like break the mold, but it's such a great take on like a sort of fairy tale style coming to America.
What did you say, Kobi? I think my sound cut out.
Sorry, I said 4 as well.
Oh, wow.
I
don't think we've ever all, unless it was like a 5, 5, 5. I don't think we've ever all given the same score for all of them. That's fun. Well done, team.
Okay, so this is the real challenge.
This is where
now.
we'll differ, because I'm going to go more romantic than you two. That's what I predict.
Oh my goodness! So yes, it is the rom-com scale out of 100. I am.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
So I'm going to guess that you're going to go 75.
No.
Really?
I went 60.
I went 65.
Oh, you thought you were going more romantic than me.
Kobi's going to go higher.
Yeah, I'm going 85.
I think again, the thing that really charms me about this is how sweet and innocent Akeem is, and how I think his romance with Lisa is actually a real joy to watch. The comedy is strong in this movie, so strong, but I actually don't think a lot of it comes from, the Eddie Murphy side of it. I mean, outside of like the extra characters he plays, I think Akeem is a really strong romantic lead, and that really hit home for me.
Yeah, I just buy it more as, wherever the comedy comes from. I buy it more as a comedy still than as a romance. And also find it. Another thing I was thinking was a bit strange. I have always found a bit strange is that Lisa's quite. I know nothing happens between Patrice and Eddie Akeem, but that was the setup. Was that those two were set up to be together, and then suddenly they're not.
Well,
I always find it. a bit strange.
The way that Patrice is played is she's so horny. She'll be sleeping with anybody. So if Lisa wants to go with anybody, she's just going to have to accept they've probably slept with Patrice at some point.
And then also Patrice ends up ostensibly with Mr. Soulglow.
Yeah.
Patrice can do better.
Yeah, I was like, why are we giving Daryl a happy ending here?
Yeah, fuck off, Daryl. Daryl sucks. And she doesn't need the money because she's going to be the sister-in-law of a...
Yeah. She should have ended up with Semi.
Yeah, well, she seemed pissed off with Semi because Semi's going to have more money than Soulglow anyway.
She's pissed off with Semi because he's not the prince.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, actually, Patrice was a little snobby because she was fine with Akeem when she thought that he was a student working at a fast food restaurant, but she was not fine if he was a servant to a prince, which is very weird to me because that's a definite step up.
I mean, I think it's just more like, well, I could be with the prince.
Right.
Less about him. Though I love the bit where, why are you hugging him? He's just the servant. I was like, what a thing to say.
Yeah, right? I was like, okay, Patrice.
Who told you that? Semi's like,
That's something actually in the sequel. Everybody in Zamunda fucking hates Semi. And I don't know. I was like, oh, wow. I did not get this vibe as much. And like James L. Jones is like really like, oh, Semi, this piece of shit. Yeah, that's our show.
That's it. That's the show. We did it.
Well, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you so much for coming on. Is there anything you'd like to plug?
Just plug me, I have and help out with a bunch of podcasts. When I say have, I host a few podcasts, and one being Flixwatcher, which you guys are due to be on at some point when myself and Helen come out of our hiatus sabbatical phase.
Sometimes you need one.
Yeah.
As we do the final rundown to episode 500. And then myself and Dave from the Cinemile, we have a podcast called The Wire Stripped, and we need to come out of hiatus to finish season 5 of that. We get emails every day saying, why the fuck haven't you done season 5 yet? And we're like, because life has happened.
Well, now
people emailed us when we took a week off. They're like, we don't give a shit. Take your time.
No, one person messaged me.
Oh, well, that's nice. Actually, to be clear, I do not want people to complain.
It's been like 5 years between the last season of The Wire Stripped and
hey, creativity takes time, okay? People can calm down.
The Wire Stripped, and have a network called Stripped Media where we make podcasts, film and TV ones, podcasts for people like Pitch Our Cinemas and Twiggy, and also there's a bunch of other film and TV podcasts on our network, and we try and like boost each other up as well. So
amazing,
beautiful. And
where can people find you on the socials?
On the socials, I'm generally at Cobestar, KOBESTARR. So find me there on Instagram, and if you type in Cobestar into Google, my face will pop up. And choose your favorite platform.
Great.
That makes sense to you.
As long
apart
as it's
from TikTok,
not X.
someone else has got Cobestar at TikTok, and I feel that they've done it because they want to extort some money from me, and I'm not going to because I don't have any money to give them. So.
What a brilliant reason to not be extorted.
Yeah, great reason. Yeah, it's like, sorry, I got nothing.
But also, I heard that Taylor Swift, someone took her name on Instagram, and she was like, I'll just be Taylor Swift too. I don't care. I'm not going to give you money. I can't remember which. So if she can do it, then I can do it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. Well, this has been When Rom Met Com. You can find us on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at When Rom Met Com. There are links there to the Vanity Fair article, our letterbox, and any other fun things that we found and want to share. You can always DM us or send us an email at mail@winrommet.com.
Get it?
We would love to hear your thoughts on the films, what rom-coms you think we should cover, your best would-dos, wouldn't-dos, and have-dones, or really anything else you want to say. If you've had a nice time today, please consider leaving us a review. It's super helpful because if people come across our podcast in the wild and they see lots of reviews, they'll be like, oh, people like that. And then maybe they'll listen, and we like that.
We're going to fool them.
And if one day you would like us to do an episode on
The Nutty Professor
to America or The Nutty Professor,
we're not doing a coming to.
Okay. If at some point you want us to do more episodes, you can also leave us a tip on our Ko-Fi. Next time, we will be discussing number 12, It Happened One Night. Thank you so much for listening. And remember, we don't hate you, not even a little bit, not even at all. See you next time.
Do you think if they made a sequel to It Happened One Night, it would be called It Happened Two Nights?
Yeah. tonight.
Tonight. Yeah, that's good too.
Yeah.
But with the number 2.
Yeah, obviously.
All right.
Anyway,
Bye.
bye.